Hi again, guys. First, let me say thank you guys for all the support you guys are giving on the cello videos. I am really, with like for a lack of better words, ass. I'm really not that good relative to what I want to be and compared to all the other musicians that are out there. But I'm really, really appreciative of all the support that you guys have been giving me over the past few months. I cannot thank you enough. I should be working on Here Comes a Thought, and in case you guys don't know, that's an amazing song from Steven Universe. But today is not about cello videos. I'm not going to be working on that today. Today is about the fact that Colombia yesterday threatened to have me arrested for protesting on their campus. Now, for those of you who don't know, or those of you who didn't watch the very long-winded explanation that I gave in a series of videos to a playlist on my channel, I'm going to give you a super duper abridged version of, well, my story. Last year, about early 2015, my best friend fell horribly ill from a condition known as false memory syndrome. It essentially is a condition that makes her suffer the actual backlash of memories that are false but traumatic and in her mind completely real. However false they are, the events didn't happen, but she completely believes that they did. It's usually implanted by your therapist or an environment, and it's much easier to implant when, like my friend, you are on every drug in the sky that you can think of. I'm not even kidding. Oxycodone, opium, hydrocodone, Adderall, Ritalin, and I really think the killer was benzodiazepines. And she was suffering from mental illnesses like depression and anxiety before going to a therapist at Columbia for help. And it is extremely likely that this therapist, as well as the really, really feminist environment at Columbia, led to the implantation of these memories and basically influenced her and told her that the cause of all of her mental issues and all of her drug addiction issues is that she's a rape victim. It's a perfectly simple explanation that completely relieves her of any responsibility, and on a very weak mind, a mind that's weakened by tons and tons of drugs and several mental illnesses, it is perfect for a scapegoat. Now, I document all of this in the videos, but this woman has had a long history of issues with her sexuality, and being that I was the very first person she's ever had sex with, I received the full brunt of it. It is literally down to the dates and times. I documented it in my videos, but her issues, she used to literally oscillate back and forth with her sexuality. And I don't mean like with me, I don't mean that she used to say, oh, one day I'd like to have sex, and a few days later I don't feel like it. That's completely normal. I mean, you should respect that as any respectable person if someone doesn't feel like having sex with you. What I mean is that this woman was telling me one day that she wanted to have sex with me, and she loved it, and she wants to always do it. And then a few days later saying that she never ever wants to have sex with me, and that she has no idea why I would ever get the idea of wanting to have sex with her. And then a few days later after that, she'd tell me that why I love having sex with you, I love doing this with you. And then a few days later, I'm not even kidding. I am not kidding at all. That is exactly what was going on. It's incredible considering that she used to complain so much about how gentle I was with her all the time back when we used to be sexual, that she now believes that I have been quite viciously raping her from fall 2011 all the way through fall 2014. Yes, I of course have never done anything like this. Like I said, this woman I loved more than anyone. She was the first person on Columbia's campus to ever make me feel like I was anything more than nothing. She made me feel like I was everything when everyone around me was so amazing that I felt like I was like the scum of the earth, so inferior. But I loved her too much to basically see the implications of her very back and forth nature, of her drug addictions, of her mental illnesses. I didn't see this little by little compounding and building until it exploded in my face back in early 2015. College was the very first place that I'd ever engaged in sexual relationships, and at Columbia, and Columbia is where I went to college. Columbia, all I've learned from all my friends, and they are mostly female, mind you, that is that whenever a woman says to do something, you do it. You bend over, and this is all done with the best intentions. Remember that the environment is very, very, very feminist, and I agreed with a lot of these ideas at the time because we're all just trying to protect more women. But now that I have seen the error of my ways and just how destructive this kind of mindset can be, it has come to my attention that anybody with power, especially women, if you surrender it all to them, could also turn it on men or anyone else, just as men have over the course of history done the same to women. Speaking of abuses of power, it's not towards any of my friends or my best friend, the one who accused me, to whom I bear any ill will. It's Columbia's Office of Gender-Based Misconduct, because when my best friend's memories, her false memories anyway, first manifested, my best friend didn't tell me what was wrong at all. Her illness guided her to cut me out of her life completely at random. And mind you, 1 week, this all happened like 1 week after her cuddling with me in bed and telling me that she's more grateful for my presence in her life than anyone else. I swear to you, I can prove all this. Like, check the documents, check the text. It's all in there. There's tons of it. Anyway, it was only after like 3 months, it was February 8th that she cut me out of her life. It was only at May 6th, when I was called into Columbia's Office of Gender-Based Misconduct, that I found out what she truly believed. Again, that I had been quite brutally sexually assaulting her for years repeatedly. Now, of course, these accusations were utterly fallacious, completely spurious, and there was oodles of proof, and the Office of Gender-Based Misconduct was told at the onset of the investigation that this woman was on so many drugs. And again, when I was told this, I was bawling. And when I say bawling, I was bawling when I found this out, yelling, there's no way she'd ever say this. This woman loves me more than anyone ever has on this campus. There is no way. If there's one person on that entire campus that I believe would have stood up for the highest standard of my caliber, I'm sorry, the highest standard of my character, it was her. There is no doubt about that. But that was not at all what Columbia was concerned with. So, since Columbia has a very long history of sweeping accusations of sexual assault under the rug in order to protect its reputation, and the last thing they want on their records are that sexual assaults happen to them, and since Emma Sulkowicz, you may know her as Mattress Girl, have been in that very same year and protesting with a mattress over her shoulder, carrying it alongside other students. I actually used to see her on the campus doing this. Columbia just basically decided that they have no choice now. Now their dirty laundry is out in the open, and they have to do the opposite now to do the exact same ill, which is just protect their federal funding and protect its reputation, protect its income, and not the students, and not do the right thing for the students. I didn't see this at the time because I thought that everyone was trying to do the right thing. The right thing would be for them to completely dismiss all of these charges and let me help them, as I repeatedly offered to do so. Let me help them to find a way to help fix my best friend, to get her psychological help, help to prove to her, using the camera evidence cameras in the buildings that she accused me of being in, some of which we've we've never been in, that to help convince her that none of this is true at all. That would have been, taking the steps towards helping her to heal, and recommending help, psychological help for her, for the memories that, mind you, their therapist actually implanted in the first place. But there was no way that Columbia was going to take responsibility for any of this. They were not going to risk upsetting my friend or her parents by presenting her with all of this evidence that she is incredibly mentally ill, and recommend help for her. All that they cared about was making this go away as fast as possible, and completely covering themselves and making sure to silence me. So what happened is that they expelled me and gave me absolutely no chances to defend myself. None at all. No matter how much I wanted to. Remember, what I want was for my friend to get better, and for her to realize that this idea of me being her rapist, even like just months after her telling me that all of her years with me have been so wonderful and that she loves me so much, are completely false. In fact, I was assigned a lawyer from Columbia that actually ordered me not to turn in any of the evidence. I couldn't afford my own lawyer at the time. This happened so suddenly that I just took a lawyer from Columbia because I thought that was going to help me. Little did I know he was trying to deceive me as well. He was trying to help Columbia to cover this up. So he told me not to submit any of the evidence, and he told me flat out, there's no way anybody will believe, no matter how much you want to tell anyone, no one will believe you, Dexter. So he told me that what's going to happen is you have to sign a paper signing away all of your rights to a hearing, and that, or else Columbia is going to take away your degree, because they don't believe you. No one will believe you. Your degree will be revoked. Now, I basically had to sign a document to just to receive my degree at the end of the year. But technically, I am now an expellee. What's the term for someone who's been expelled? No matter, whatever. I'm expelled from Columbia University, and I'm considered a persona non grata on their property. In other words, an unwelcome person. Basically, they've told me that if I set foot on their property and I'm discovered, I will be arrested. And the way that they handled this case showed me in absolute, without a doubt, unequivocally, that they do not give a flying fuck about their students. If they would expel who is an evidently innocent man, and they would more importantly, if they would let my best friend suffer with the beliefs, mind you, the very strong and potent beliefs in her mind that are completely real to her, that she is a rape victim, and this has been happening for years and years in her mind. If they are willing to let that come to pass, all so that they can protect themselves, so that they don't ever have to deal with it, so that they don't have to risk their reputations, so that they don't have to risk losing income, they are the evil ones, and I am not going to stop coming onto their campus and protesting every single week. I don't know. I actually, for maybe the past few months, I've been going onto their campus and posting flyers all over the campus to the best of my ability. There are some buildings I cannot enter because I do not have a working Columbia University ID anymore. But pretty much for all the student buildings, I go in there and I start plastering a flyer that you can see in the documents. I will put it in the description. And on top of that, I also, hold on, I want to show you. Ta-da! Oh, no, wait, you probably can't see it. Well, just give me a second. Ta-da! I believe it says on the front side, stressed? Hit me 10 times. Help me change the way Columbia handles sexual assault to protect everybody. Well, I'm a martial artist. Like, I basically go to Columbia's campus, and I'm sorry, I needed to find a way to also get my training done. So I go down to Columbia's campus, and I train there on the lawn wearing this shirt, and basically, in exchange for a little piece of paper that will direct people to my YouTube page or my YouTube channel to understand the case, and be more equipped to take action, I let people basically relieve stress by punching me in the abs as hard as they can 10 times. And I know this sounds a little bit dangerous, but trust me, this is something that any martial artist trains at all the time. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. Like, I am completely fine. Though I'll admit, there are some guys on there that literally had me gasping. Yeah, some of these guys are strong. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that yesterday, what was it, December 1st, 2016, they threatened me again, telling me that they are going to arrest me if I step on this campus. And this was after them telling me since you're a persona non grata for a crime that they know that I didn't commit, that I'm not allowed to volunteer at the homeless shelter through the program called Project for the Homeless that I have been working at. I volunteer for the homeless because, I intend to be a doctor, especially for the homeless in the future. But don't worry, that's completely separate. That after they said that, they told me that they're going to arrest me if I step onto the campus again, and I will show you the documents that in the description. And to that, I said, bet. That's a colloquialism meaning all right. I told them, if you're going to arrest me, meet me on the front lawn of Butler, just where I usually train, at 12 p.m. on Friday, December 2nd, 2016, today. In 2 hours, actually. I'm recording this at about 10 a.m. And if you're going to arrest me, I want you to do it right then and there. I'll be training my martial arts in protest, as always, because they are morally bankrupt, but they're probably also cowards. Because they know that I am telling the truth. They know that the truth is on my side. They know that I will not stop. They know that if they arrest me, the chances of this case going public, and I will make sure that it does, are that much more likely. And so, it's very likely that they won't do anything, just like the other 5 or 6 times that they threatened to arrest me. And it's not like I've ever been hiding when I'm on their campus. I've waved to the cameras when I'm on their campus. I talk to the people on the campus. I'm right there in the open. So to Columbia, if any of you guys are watching this, if you are going to arrest me, you better fucking arrest me, because I told you. I believe I said it at the end of the introduction video of my story in the playlist on YouTube. The only way that I'm going to stop is if you either arrest me or kill me. That is it. That's the only way this is going to happen. So, to my YouTube subscribers or any other YouTube viewers, if you don't see Here Comes a Thought, the Steven Universe cover that's up next, within maybe the next week. It should be up within the next week. I'm working on it, I promise. If you don't see it up in the next week, though, it's just probably because I've been arrested for trespassing. But don't worry, that probably won't come to pass. And even if it does, it is completely worth it if I can make even an inkling of an impact to ensure that students like me and like my best friend don't end up suffering at the hands of these very selfish and self-important bureaucrats, these very egotistical ones. Enough is enough. I have to make sure that they are held accountable for their actions, and I am not going to stop until I find a way to protect people from at least students, from not only sexual assault, but from false accusations of sexual assault. We are intelligent. We can find a way. I don't know how yet, and that's why I'm hoping that other people will help me and give me advice. If I had my way, we would have a little council, basically, of students from Columbia's campus, and we would all work together, and we'd all petition Columbia to make sure that the changes that we think of would be implemented. I had some ideas that I put up in my documents. In my final letter to Columbia before I posted the videos for the first time in September. You can see it. I definitely had some ideas, but I don't know how comfortable everyone is with that. Anyway, that's about it. I am going to go, and I'm going to get ready for this. Guys, thank you for your unending support. Honestly, I don't deserve it, but I promise that I will make the absolute best of any attention that I am given, and I will not stop. That is my promise to you. Thank you again. Bye.